It's Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. Prime, charge, volatility, detonate, uh, confluences, circuitous routes. Something about today reminded me of a dream I had a long time ago, and I didn't understand it then. I didn't understand why I was where I was and why I was doing what I was doing and why it all made sense. It's like, it just seemed like that's what I do. It seemed normal. And so today I found myself in that spot, and it all made sense. And it's like, not kind of like a deja vu, only, that kind where it's like different. And doesn't happen very often. Anyway, and then when I noticed, it gave me, goosebumps, whatever you want to call it. And then when I noticed that I was noticing, and then following it through, just intensified and elevated it in. It just got my attention. And anyway, and lots of thoughts over the recent year, 2 years, 3 years, and just my growing dis-ease, is that really this place, these people around me, cannot validate my experience because they haven't had my experience. They can't understand my experience because they don't think like how I do, and I don't think like how they do. So they are really good for each other. And I tried to, fake believe for a really long time. I fake believed as good as I could for as long as I could, and pretended along, and everybody just assumed that, yeah, he's one of us, because I needed to at the time. I needed something to organize and structure myself around, to find a way to live, and be okay about it. And now that I've got that model in place, I've kind of, because like drawing a sketch, you have those rough sketch lines, and just in pencil, it's just like various shapes and circles and triangles and trapezoids and rectangles, and it just gives it a general shape and just extra material, and then you can fill it in, and I'm not an artist, but just add stuff, and then after you're done, I think the process, and then you go back, and then you can erase pencil, so this is no longer, so it's like you've got the general, and then so I was thinking about life as art, and how I don't really have much going on here. That I can just, everybody's got each other. And so it's just, I'm just, on the fringes of people's lives. I see people, sometimes a lot of the people I only see once a week. And so it's like, if I move on, it's like, I'm not a part of their lives. They've got family and circles of friends and things like that, established histories here. They've lived here all their lives, a lot of them in this general area, and this is their home. And as far as the program goes in recovery, uh, what they have, I cannot receive what they have. I never could receive what they have, no matter how much they wanted to give me or impart what they have. Whatever I got from them, that's what I've got. And then I had to develop it on my own for myself. And so likewise, I cannot give anyone what I have, whatever it is I've got working for me. I cannot give it to somebody else, because what works for me will not work for somebody else. No one can do what I do and still be okay about it and keep it up. And I don't even bother explaining to people what I do and how it's okay and how it doesn't bother me. It's like, it's normal to me, and it doesn't matter that it's abnormal or weird to anyone else. I'm the only one living this life, so it's like, if it makes sense to me, then good enough. So anyway, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It only has to make sense to me. That's good, I guess. So since I cannot receive what they have and I cannot give what I have, it's like there is an impasse, there is a conflict, and it really comes down to not belonging. And this is not my home. And this environment is stifling. It is small. It is convenient and it is comfortable. And I'm used to it. And that's probably not good. It's been nice. It has been a stable, comfortable environment. And I've been able to, establish myself and feel okay. And I've been supported and protected in ways probably that I'm not even aware. And I've never been, I've never felt entirely threatened as far as like security goes, but a little bit threatened every so often. Just because of the uncertainty factor of, they can just on a whim just kick you out of here just because they just feel like it, or they want the space for somebody else. So it's like, which has always been a thing. It's like somebody else might need this apartment more than I do, but there's always empty apartments because people manage to have trouble. So anyway, we've got 2 empty apartments right now. So 3 empty apartments, actually. Anyway, so it's not like anybody's ever been waiting for this apartment and me to leave or anything. So anyway, and normally before making any, drastic adjustments or life-altering course corrections, navigation, compass, needing to take care of one's affairs, all that kind of stuff, having a job lined up, a place to stay. I've already got that. I don't even have to. It's already in place. It's been in place the entire time. And I've been invited. I just don't want to go. But today, on the back of the dream, and, and some other things that have been going on that I don't talk about, there's just a bunch of other things. But it's already been setting up for me to go. I've just been doing it, and I didn't even realize it. Just extracting myself from this culture. I guess the first bare beginning of it was, I got rid of, just the very, very beginning. It was when I just stopped interacting with forums for recovery. I just got rid of them, just stopped. It's like, no, it became too distracting and confusing and depressing and sad and angry inducing. Just seeing how just the lies and just constant lies, and it was just too much, emotionally overwhelming. And it's like I don't have to look at all this. And it's like I can't help. And there's just too many people, and there's too many stories, and it's just all sad, and it's just all a bunch of lies. People tell themselves to reinforce and enable their own self-esteem problems and their habits. And the ways people abuse themselves. I know these things because I do it to myself. I'm familiar. I can recognize it. And then when, the whole, and then I stopped going to Indianapolis meetings because, just the stress factor of the pandemic and travel. And so I stopped going to those meetings. So that entire fellowship I just vanished from, just disappeared. No warning, just I was unhappy. People could tell I was unhappy, and they were unhappy with me too because I wasn't happy, and I wasn't being their friend like they wanted me to be their friend. It's like I was not going to. That's an entirely different story, and I don't even talk about that because I'm being polite. That was a strange situation up there, and I didn't care for it. I didn't want to be a part of it anymore, so I chose not to be, and I just never went back. And no contact. Just stopped. Anyway, and I felt good about that. Felt a lot less stressed by it. And that was probably sometime in July, August of 2020. So that was a year ago now. Yeah, and I don't miss that place. I miss a couple people. I actually do miss a couple individuals. But the overall, it was not, it was bad for me, just felt like I was being taken advantage of and used, and I couldn't tell who was, who, and it was just very confusing. So I just decided to and then with the travel and with the pandemic, it was just it was not a safe place, and it was not a safe area. And it's just too much drugs, too many guns, too much violence. It was a dangerous place, I think. Dangerous for me. I'm sure it's home to a lot of people, but for me, inner city, Indianapolis, it's not, Indianapolis is not my city. I'm more comfortable in, DC, Baltimore area than Indianapolis. And I just am more familiar with the DC, Baltimore area. Because just being from Eastern Panhandle, just spent more time there. And then this latest removal of myself from the Alvin Hill building meetings Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was 3 months ago, and I have not gone back. I never even decided when it was that I was just going to stop. I just, it's like I'd been unhappy there for a long time, over a year, and probably around since the beginning. Well, sometime around 2019. Yeah, I don't know, but just a growing dissatisfaction, and yeah. And so just going out of a sense of obligation or responsibility or habit or worrying about image and what other people thought of me, for keeping up with, because, I don't know, keeping in touch, like, are these my friends? We don't do anything outside of meetings, and I don't want to. Even if invited, it's like, no, I don't really want to. I'd rather be by myself. It's like, sorry, I don't know. It seems stressful to be around you people, like, it's like, I don't, it's difficult. I just don't understand a lot of the stuff that they talk about. And it's like, I don't care about a lot of the stuff they talk about because I don't share the same interests. And, so there's that. So talking was difficult. I could only talk, and it's like I didn't want to talk about recovery all the time. And then it's just gossip, rumors, and hearsay, and it's like it's small talk, and I just don't care about that. Not so much. I could force myself and fake it for a long time though, and then it just got to be too much, and just I'd rather just be running or writing or playing a video game or watching YouTube. Not that I play much video games anymore, but since like I rediscovered Diablo 2, which I played the heck out of back in the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around there. But it's a ritual game, and I just know it very well, and it's safe and it's comfortable, and I like it. So that was 3 months, and now it's like I'm already like, okay, well, I'm trying to get rid of this meeting now, and then that meeting's next, and it's like, and I guess the Tuesday meeting's the last to go, and no one will begrudge me or anything about like, well, he's got to do what he's got to do, and because they would do the same, and that's the sort of thing. It's like, I really don't want to. That's the thing. It's like I could go somewhere else, but then it's like, oh, but the expense. And it's like, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. And it's like, meanwhile, I still got the property and the house up in Wisconsin. And yeah, it's like I have to sell that and figure out how to, I don't even know how to deal with that. So I'm just paying for it instead. It's like, wouldn't it be nice to not have to pay for that? Yeah, but I don't know how you deal with it. It's like, I don't know. And Jack doesn't want to do anything with it. I didn't get the impression that he wanted to. I don't know. He's got enough on his plate or something. So it's like on me. So anyway, confluences. So, and the other thing is like, what was I thinking about doing? Moving to like someplace else close by in town? If I'm gonna move, it's like that seems like a lot of work to just move out of here and end up paying a couple $100 a month more just to have my own place where I don't have. Well, I would really like working air conditioning and working heat in some of the rooms, because this place it's cold in the winter and it is hot in the summer, and they insist that everything's working fine, and somehow it's my fault, I guess. I don't know how that works, because they come in and they take a look at the system and it's like, oh yeah, it's working, and then it craps out. It's like takes them a month to come back, and then they come back, and I don't know. I just rather just suffer than have to deal with them and communicating with them about the problems, because they are already decided that everything's fine, and anything that goes against their own personal narrative is therefore wrong, or somehow somebody else's fault. It's not anything. Yeah. It's complicated, and I don't want to talk about it. So I don't like dealing with many people. Imagine that. So I don't know if this is going to go anywhere. I just got really excited by the dream and really excited by the idea and the thought, because so often have I thought about West Virginia and then just shot down the idea immediately. And it's like, no, I left there on purpose. It was for a reason. And I was glad to be gone, and I'm not going back. And I just left it there, always, just like not going back to West Virginia. And then I got to thinking about home and how it's like, this is not home, and I feel like kind of homeless, and the stress of being homeless, and not really being attached to where I am, and no roots. Whereas at least in West Virginia, which is the most home that I have in this world, even if I don't have people really there, I do know the area, and I know the layout, and I know the people, just in general, the culture, the style. I mean, things have changed. Because I left there in 2008, so it will have changed. And I was back there 2 years ago. I saw some of it, and it's like, yeah, but it still looks like home. Or it still looks like how I remember. A lot of stuff has changed, but it's like, yeah. And I've learned so much since I left. A whole new appreciation of just everything. And it's like I just feel better about myself and everything. And it's like I don't feel any sense of shame, because I was always worried that like it was some sort of, like, oh, if I go back to West Virginia, that's me being beaten or something while I'm running away or going home. It's like, oh, I didn't make it out on the real world or something. Well, fuck. I kicked my own ass, up in Wisconsin. I didn't do any good up there. I just found a place to drink. And that's all I did. I worked. And I drank. Until I just slowly phased out the working. And then just focused on the drinking. Because I didn't really like the work part. Working was, just drink. And I got trapped. I got stuck. I didn't like it. So here, I've regained, first off, just getting into the system and having it discovered about Asperger's syndrome and autism spectrum disorder, even though I don't really consider it a disorder. It's just the way things are, and it's just being on the spectrum. People can throw names at it. What a relief that it was all real, all along. And and it's okay to be how it is I am, and talk like it is how I do. And people can think what they like, and I like it just fine. And I'm not really trying to impress people or be popular, or I'm just trying to find a life. And I didn't find one really here, and I don't really have any connections or relationships or anything really at all. A few casual acquaintances, but they've got their own families and friends and significant others and things like that, and just this is their home. I am a stranger. I never. I tried awkwardly to make connections, but it got to be too much, and it was just too awkward, and it was too stressful, and I didn't get it, and or people just, I don't know, were just always. I guess I focused mostly on people trying to make inroads and get to know people that were in recovery, and it didn't work out. People disappear all the time, and I never find out what happens to them. A lot of times it's not good. People have bigger problems than making friends, or it works for some people, but I never really met other autistic people in the program that, well, I met one. Maybe two. But anyway, but they disappeared. So I always end up okay in the end, despite myself. I work it out. And I don't have to like everything. I try to comfort myself, as I know my places that I go, and I know where they end up, and I know how to get out, as long as I remember. So far, it's like bouncing back. It's like I bounce back. You know, I get a lot of practice delving deep. But so far, I've bounced back. I've always made it back. Sometimes it's harder than others. It takes me a while. And the nice part is, no matter where I go, I'm taking me with me. And I can take my writing, and I can take this, and the important things come with me. They travel along. I like that. And I've already started thinking about my tree and my cactus. It's like those are coming with me wherever I go. And it's like, can I fit everything in my car? Well, I didn't buy any furniture. I never decorated this apartment in 5 years. It will have been 5 years in November. I never decorated. I didn't buy any furniture. Lots of things I can leave for the next person, as far as like pots and pans and glassware and dishes, which I don't have that much of. And then so it's just clothes, plants, electronics, you know, just bare stuff, just laptop, tablet, phone, and odds and ends. My old desktop computer, which, you know, I don't know what to do with it. It's just dead, but I guess I could salvage parts of it to something. But parts of it are still good, I'm sure. And, you know, yeah, I could make the trip in one go. And it's like that freedom is exciting. And then I can do it. And I don't need to check with anybody. It's just me. I can just go. And it's like, whatever happens to me, happens to me. You know, life. It's like no one's responsible for me. And if it ends up, you know, I make mistakes or get involved with the wrong thing or decide to give drinking another try and I get lost and, you know, die an alcoholic death, well, that's on me. Those will have been my choices. No one made them for me, and no one picked it up and started doing it again. I mean, I know what happened the last time, and man, oh man, did it, yeah. It was not good. Not good. Not a fan. Didn't like it. Didn't like it one bit. And it doesn't have anything to offer me anymore. No more mysteries. And I don't need to numb. It's not worth it. It's hard. But, you know, dealing with life instead of, you know, numbing it away is easier, even though it's hard. And it's just, it hurts. It does just hurt. And that's not ever going to get better. I'm sorry. But I get better at not being destroyed every day and not being broken every day. It doesn't, I just have to work at it, keep working at it. So, it's not all bad. So, it will be okay as long as I remember it. And there's stuff I can do. And there's, you know, little things, little things, little things. And none of this has been a bad experience. I was actually sitting outside after my run today. After work, in the heat. Air quality was really good today. It was about 28. I was thinking about halcyon days and how this, despite what happened at work today, it was just nothing bad. It was just a mess, and it was just a lot. It was like, how much longer do I think I can keep up with this? Do I want to keep up with this? Work's not going to get any better. That's just whatever complaints I have about that. It's just going to be the same, and it's just going to be more of it. So if I want to continue, I am free to continue, but it's just going to be more of it, and I shouldn't ever hope for it to ever get any better. It's just how much I can handle. So, despite even all that happened today, it's like it's still a halcyon day, and it's like, will I even remember this day as the day that it's like a year from now when I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing, if hopefully I'm doing something. And I was thinking about the C&O Canal too, running alongside the Potomac River. That was one of my favorite things to do. And I'd like to run alongside that river again. I'd like to see those mountains again. There's lots of things. It's like being, away from home, homesick. It's like, except I haven't been home in 13 years. So it's like I've been away, and I visited 2 years ago, and I just got to see a little bit for just a couple days. So nothing's happening like today or within the next, but sometime in the next, I don't know. I'll have my 5 years at Kroger in October, because my start date there was October 11th. And anyway, and there's just stuff that it's not going to get any better, and help is needed, and I feel needed, that there's stuff going on in West Virginia that I need to be there for, and me being here just on my own, by myself, it's kind of selfish. And it's like, I've been here by myself long enough, and if I was going to make a go of it in Indiana, like, whereas Indiana is not home. That's the point. I try to find things to make it home, but it's no matter what I do and what I try to, I can't make it home. It's just not here. And there's no mountains. There's barely even any hills. There's just little rises. And the people are just, I don't know. Anyway, this has gone on long enough. So, I'm not going to say anything to anybody. I'm just going to keep this to myself. I might write about it, though. I will write about it. But I'm not saying anything to anybody around here, because it'll just confuse me. And they don't need to know. Once arrangements are made and it's already happening, then I'll start. But I don't need anybody to know it in advance. That'll just confuse. Maybe it'll make sense to them, but it'll confuse me, because everything confuses me. So it is how it is. And these are my thoughts today. And tomorrow I might feel different. But there was a confluence, and the thoughts surfaced. They had been rising, and they had been there before, but today they got the attention, and a lot of it's just been building. It's been building for a long time, and it needs attention. So it's like, and I'm the only one. So, and it's like I don't really want to, but I do, and I haven't sorted it out yet. So, anyway, I'm tired, so I'm gonna go do something else, take a shower, get some food, take a nap. I'm getting my 5-year token tonight from Barbara. Return the favor, because I thought she would enjoy it, and I think she's excited. So it's good. So it all seems like a good time to be working on this. Because with what's going on in the world, and yeah, me being here serves. I don't know what the purpose of me being here anymore is. So, because I'm okay. As long as I remember, then I'm okay. So it's like, my being here no longer serves a good enough purpose. It still serves a purpose, but it's not good enough anymore to keep me here. Somewhere, the balance has shifted. I don't know when it happened, but it probably happened a little while ago. So I can't justify myself to stay. So I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. These are the beginnings of thoughts. But I had to talk to myself about it, to see if it makes sense, to see how I felt about it. And apparently I feel very strongly. So I think I've broken myself down enough. So, shit. Anyway, I have felt like I needed to cry for a couple of weeks now, and I just couldn't find something to cry about. It's like there's so much terrible stuff going on, but I couldn't find a way to cry. But then I started thinking about being a homesick. It's like, that's all it took. Like all these terrible things that I hear about. It's not all bad. There are things that can be salvaged. Not everything's lost. Some things make good. So, anyway.